Hey, what's up? It's Josh again, and with Dionne Gordillo again.
Hi.
We'll be talking about more photography stuff, and so we will be going over this topic is best camera brands or camera brands that we like, because there are a lot out there, and not all of them are equal. So we're going to be talking about camera brands that we like, so you know which ones to buy. So here we go. So Dionne, since again you are the photographer and have only taken like one class, what camera brands do you prefer?
So, honestly, I think Canon is one of the best camera brands.
So do
I know that's probably a little bit cliche, but they honestly are very exceptional with every single one of their brands of like different types of camera lens that they have. I actually own 3 of them. And so I started off with the Rebel XS, which is one of the cheaper ones that you can get, but still good quality. That's actually what I started off with.
That's what I have.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I started off photography school with that one. And I mean, really great quality, really awesome. I love it. It's my tried and true one that I've had for a really long time. And then from there, I've just kind of moved up to the TI5, which is amazing as well. I mean, all of these are just kind of little baby steps up the Canon ladder, to say. And then right now I have the Canon Mark IV, which is amazing. I really am in love with this camera. A lot of it is just the quality that it's able to take is just, you can really see the difference from like that first one to this one. And of course, like I said, it's the Rebel XS is perfect if you're starting out. If you have a bigger budget, then I would definitely recommend going a little bit higher, because you can really see the image quality in that. There's a lot more functions that you can do. As a person who works manually on a camera, you can just do so much more with it, and they have more of a range on ISO and aperture as well, which really gives you the availability to get the quality that you want with that. Mind you, those are my digital cameras. That's what I love to use for digital. As for film, my film camera is a Nikon, and I absolutely love it. It's just, I don't know, I found it from the beginning, and I've just always stuck with it. It's great quality to it, super easy, very like user friendly. And I've just never had a problem with it, so I've just kind of stuck with it as well. I don't know. Go ahead if you have any more questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have the Canon, like I said, the XSI, and I've used it for photography and for my intro to VR class where we took like 360 images. So I love the camera. It takes great pictures, and of course you can have great lenses for it too. But it is a really popular brand. Like it's a really common brand. So Canon and Nikon are like 2 of the I can say they're some of the most like popular brands.
The top competitors for sure for cameras.
I also think that maybe Sony is getting up there for their digital stuff, as I have also used a Sony camera, and I think they have, at least in their like compact cameras or their point and shoot cameras, I think their lenses are really great. So for those kinds of cameras, they don't have functions like DSLRs, but if you want a good point and shoot camera, I'd say go for a Canon or a Sony.
Awesome.
But for DSLRs, definitely Canon and Nikon.
Perfect. So I do have 3 cameras here to show you guys. So this first one is my baby. I don't have the lens on it, as you can see, just a little lens cap right here.
It's just the body.
So yeah, just the body. I absolutely love this one. This one is the Mark IV. What I really like about it is the back is absolutely gorgeous. So it is actually a touchscreen, which is really nice because, so just recently I found out that I need glasses. So because of it, I always manual focus. So because of it, I've noticed my pictures have been like, they'll look fine, and then I upload it on the computer and they're just ever so slightly blurry. So that's how I've realized that I do need glasses, which kind of sucks. But hey, I know now. But what's nice about the touchscreen is I don't have to upload it onto the computer to find that out first, because it's touchscreen. I can just zoom into it and see how clear it is, essentially, and then I can retake it or just adjust it fine that way. There's a lot of different functionings on here, which I really enjoy, and of course on the top right there is where you switch it to the different other different functions. But once again, I always shoot manual, just that way I can control everything to it. There are several different lenses that you can put on it. I have 3 lenses for this camera. I have a telephoto one, just a regular standard one, and then a wide angle lens, which is really fun to play with as well.
A wedding lens?
Wide angle.
Oh,
lens.
wide angle. I'm like, what's a wedding
Sorry,
lens?
wide angle.
Wide angle lens.
But like I said, this has been one of my favorite cameras ever. I'm really in love with this one, and if it's within your budget, I would highly recommend getting it. If it's a little bit out of reach, I'd say it's worth, to save up, even if it takes you a few years to save up for it. I would definitely recommend doing that.
Looks like I gotta get one too.
Yeah,
it looks really nice compared to my XSI, which is an older model, so of course.
And those are still great. Like I said, all Canons are amazing. Like I've started off with the the lower end, but they're still fantastic. Like Canon knows what they're doing with cameras, and they're amazing.
Yeah, I started off with the XSI mostly because it is an older model, so it's cheaper to get, but it's still a good camera. So when I was taking my photography class, I was looking for a good camera that was cheap, and that's the one I found, and it really works.
And it's honestly perfect for beginners. Like, it's everything you need. It's not overwhelming with a bunch of different functions, so it just really helps you get started and focused on learning the basics of photography as well. This next camera that I have is my film camera. It's a Nikon. I absolutely love it, and it looks so much more, it's like tinier than my other one. So it's nice because I have small hands, so it's great for it. This one is just pretty standard. Obviously, there's no screen here because it's film, so it just kind of pops open. Actually, I don't think I have film in here, so I can just pop that open. Hopefully I don't have film in here. So it just pops open right there. You can see all the functions. The film just goes in here. Right here is the shutter that opens and closes, and then the camera or the film just rolls back in there.
After you've taken
after you've taken the photo. So I absolutely love this one just because I feel like I can really control the film and how I want it to come out with this. There are a few different functions on there. Once again, I always shoot manual. I wouldn't really shoot anything else. And you do have a little bit of range on the photo. I mean, you can see the lens moving. So a little bit of a zoom, but not too much, which is nice. I mean, I don't think you really need any more than that for film. And then this last camera is, I know I said a lot of them are my favorites, but this one is one of my favorites. So this one is a Holga camera. So this is in Hong Kong. It was initially made as a children's toy, actually. What I love about this camera, it's a cheap plastic camera. I'm not going to open it up because I currently have film in it right now, so I don't want to expose that. What I love so much about this is because it was just seen as a child's toy, a lot of people kind of just take it for granted. It's like, oh, it's just something kids play with and that's it. It actually takes really incredible photos in the sense of when it's in the hands of someone who knows photography, knows composition, knows lighting, knows framing. Exactly. You can get amazing images because it's a cheap plastic camera. There's a lot of light leaks. So it's not light tight, so it'll kind of seep through the cracks, and of course that will expose slightly on the film. So when you do develop it, you get a lot of cool marks on there, and it's all random. It's stuff that you can't replicate because it's just a cheap plastic toy. It gives you that uniqueness of the individuality of each individual photo as well. And there really isn't any functionings on there. There's just a little knob where you can turn it to like that shows a little mountain if you're taking like landscape.
Mhm.
There's a group of people, there's 3 people, and then there's 1 person. So I really don't know if that actually does anything or if it just shows up on there to do it, because I feel like every time I switch it over and take a photo, it kind of does the same. It's not a zoom lens, so I really don't
Mhm.
I really don't know what that
Maybe
means.
it's to show like, hey, other cameras have settings like this, so teaching the kids that there are settings in cameras. maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and that definitely could be it. And then from here, all it is just hitting the shutter, and then you have the thing to roll the film over. So pretty simple, but I absolutely love this one. I always kind of have this saying, especially when it comes to here in Utah, we get a lot of people who think they are photographers.
Oh, so many.
They they think like, oh, I just spent like $5,000 on this camera, so I'm a photographer now, and it's like, well, you bought a really expensive piece of equipment, so I would hope that piece of equipment would do its job and take a nice photo, because that's what it's meant to do. So people just don't understand that there's a difference between taking a nice photo versus
Mhm.
taking photography that's actually art, that has meaning, that works with the principles such as composition, lighting, all of that.
'Cause you could have the best camera and still take horrible pictures
Mhm.
if you don't know how to use it, and if you don't know the principles of photography and how things should work.
It's true. So I always like to say, the true test of a photographer, if they can take photos with this and it still comes out incredible, that's kind of how you know
Mhm.
whether someone actually knows what they're doing with photography or not.
Mhm. Makes sense. Yeah, so great, thank you. Those were some of the camera brands that Dionne really likes, and like I've mentioned a few that I really like. There are a lot out there, and a lot of them are actually pretty good, but some of them are not as great. But it also depends on what you're using the camera for.
I think
So,
ultimately it's similar to brands just in general. I feel like you need to test them out, find
mhm,
what you like, what suits you. Obviously, like Josh was saying, some are a little bit better than others, but at the end of the day, you need to find your style and what
mhm,
you want and how you want to show your work. And if there's a camera that you like, definitely stick with that. But don't be afraid to explore other brands and explore different things to just find what it is that you want.
mhm. Great. Well, that's it for today. Thanks again, Dionne.
Thank
And
you.
I hope everybody has a good night.
Have a
See
good
ya.
night.